Hey, close enough.
Thank you.
And you are?
Catherine.
Catherine. Now, would you like to be Sir Catherine, or would you like to be the female name, Lady Catherine or something like that?
May I be sir?
Be a sir? Certainly.
It's good enough for Brienne.
Not in the books yet, but...
So there's a couple things we got to get to, Trey, but I know you wanted to talk about the knighting stuff and something else regarding POVs.
So yeah, there's that. He did talk about, I think maybe there's only 2 bits of information that are new. He talked about how when he was writing the Mystery Knight, he was thinking of having 2 POVs, like Dunk POV and Egg POV. I don't know if he's ever brought that up before. Oh. That when he was writing, when he was writing, he was like, through the writing point of view. This was probably the most interesting part of the question that they asked him. He's like, when writing Dunk and Egg, when writing anything, point of view is always the hardest thing. Do you want an omniscient? Do you want a limited? Do you want to jump around? Oh, this was interesting too, where he was like, when I was writing the Song of Ice and Fire, I kept on introducing more and more points of view. And he was like, if I could travel back and talk to that guy, I would slap him over the face and tell him not to add points of view, to cut down on the characters. And I was like, I know exactly what he's talking about. Feast for Crows, and I'm like, oh, but George, you're writing gold with those Greyjoy chapters and stuff, right?
No. So hold on. But he's having remorse about putting in so many point of view characters later on in the books.
He said he would go, if he could go back in time and slap himself and tell him not to have so many point of view characters. So I think it's also given us information about Winds that's a problem he's trying to. I don't know. It's a problem we all know, that he's having trouble wrapping up all the point of views.
This is something that Elio Garcia, his co-writer and friend, has commented on, and I keep saying I need to do this video, I need to do it, but Elio basically said what's keeping George up at night with Winds of Winter is that he wants to put himself in a position where by the end of Winds of Winter, only A Dream of Spring is left, and this is quite clearly the problem he's having. He's clearly having a problem with so many point of view characters, which ironically, Preston in his fan fiction is about to completely fix all of that by just knocking out a bunch of characters off the board all at once.
You gotta kill them.
All at once.
You gotta kill them. Or you gotta merge their stories. It's either one or the other. You have no choice. You either merge their stories together, so you no longer have 2 points of view. It turns into one, observing the same story, or you kill them off. And yeah. So it was kind of sad to hear George talking about that, he regrets Feast for Crows. I think that's very clearly what he was talking about, is that having the story expand and have Cersei and the Greyjoys and the Dornish story and stuff. He says he thinks that's a mistake now.
No, he's crazy. It's one of the best.
That's what he was saying. He said he would have stopped himself if he had a time machine or whatever. He would go back and slap himself and stop him from adding so many points of view.
That's what he would do if he had a time machine.
Maybe
really?
That was Sansa. Maybe that was Sansa. Yeah. That's his time machine thing. Not just get this done quicker or whatever. So yeah, that was it. And then anyways, that segued into him talking about Dunk and Egg, where he was thinking about making it. From the very beginning, he just knew that Dunk needed to be the point of view and it to be limited to his perspective. But then he was like, when I wrote Mystery Knight, he kind of wanted He said he wrote chapters where it was jumping around point of view. Where it was jumping around point of view. It was jumping around from Dunk to Egg and back and stuff. And he apparently wrote those. Those were done, and then he went back and redid it. And it kind of shows in Mystery Knight, because in Mystery Knight there's a whole subplot with Egg going off on his own and meeting that lord and showing the ring and stuff and scheming while Dunk, or not scheming, but doing stuff away from Dunk. So it is very visible in Mystery Knight. That's a remnant. You can tell that that's a remnant of the 2 points of view that were eventually merged into just one. So that's interesting. So that was new information. I think that was brand new information that he's never revealed. That Mystery Knight was supposed to be dunk and egg point POVs, but then he decided against it.
That's not the only revelation from the.
I was going to talk about the other thing. The other thing was they had a thing where they're like, all right, we want the audience to come in here, and we're going to select 3 members of the audience, and if you can recite the oath of knighthood in Westeros, George will knight you. It was like trivia.
Well, I mean, only the first 4 parts have ever.
That's
been
what
revealed.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, but we don't know the full oath, right? Like, there's like
so what happened?
So a fan got up there. This guy, I had to put a picture of him. He was in his like basketball shorts, and he was good. He like because I was like trying to recall like, okay, how does it start? Because I was like, and he was like, well,
in the name of the warrior, I charge you to be brave.
I charge you to be brave. In the name of the father, I charge you to be just. Right. Name of the mother.
Mother, I think I charge you to defend the innocent or something.
I charge you to defend.
It might be weak and innocent, but it might just be innocent or something.
And then, so he did like the first 2 or 3 lines, and then George was like, you forgot the maid, and that's protect all women.
He's like, I didn't get to that part. That's 4th.
Vows. Like, let me see, because I was like, well, shouldn't there be like the crone? Like, shouldn't it be all 7 of them?
It should be.
So if that's but George was like, yep, it's only warrior, father, mother, and maid, apparently.
Maid.
Which is just weird.
Well, because Dunk leaves the tent. Dunk literally leaves the tent before he hears the last 2. Like, there should be 2 more.
There should be. And I think, like, so that was, like, kind of weird. Like, because, like, there should, like, I understand there not being one for the stranger, but there should be one for the crone and there should be one for the smith. Like, that just makes sense, right? Yeah. And maybe even one for the stranger. Who knows? Maybe their vows, like, even include the stranger in it because it's 7.
Right.
So that was really weird where that's some lore thing that now it's going to be on, like, So Spoke Martin, that the vows are not incomplete. Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at it right now on here. In the name of the warrior, I charge you to be brave. In the name of the father, I charge you to be just. In the name of the mother, I charge you to defend the young and innocent. In the name of the maid, I charge you to protect all women. And it's ... in Duncan in the Hedge Knight. But apparently now, like, George is like, nope, it's canon now. Like, people are gonna be like, it's canon that the vows is in there, and there's
that's stupid. I
Preston,
mean, you can't.
He's allowed to do that.
He's
allowed to
trust
do that.
That's
God.
That's like he's senile. At some point, he's senile. That doesn't make any sense.
Preston, he's allowed to do that.
I'm with you.
Like, how many times like George doesn't know his own story?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's right, Preston. I wanted to stand up because I knew that the vows were incomplete. I wanted to stand up and be like that one asshole where it's like, well, George,
you wanted to be the meme, Trey?
Like,
the
it's
meme of the guy standing up, the painting?
That it's like the guy, the freedom of speech painting, the Norman Rockwell or whatever. Oh my gosh, yeah. And people would punch me.
Well, hold on. I gotta defend George here for a minute here because remember when George Lucas went on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart years ago, Jon Stewart was like, we don't know where Obi-Wan's from. And George Lucas goes, he's from the planet Stewjon. He's the guy who creates this shit. That's automatically canon. So if George R.R. Martin says, that's it, but it's automatically canon. It's out of your hands.
It doesn't... That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Why? Okay, first of all, his text disagrees with himself. Why would it be ... if
it's
that's
a retcon. What are you gonna do?
And then second of all, it makes no goddamn sense for there to be you only name 4 of the 7.
George is a made guy. There's nothing we could do. It's out of our hands. Okay, it's.
Why it would be so egregious. Like it's such to say that the knight's vow only has 4 parts and then you're done. It's so egregiously bad that I just refuse. I don't care if George is like this is canon. I would just be like my mind would explode. I'd just be like that's dumb.
I'm happy.
I don't understand.
I'm happy we brought this up because I blocked it out of my brain. Like I noticed something was wrong and like that. Like I don't think they actually tell you the full vows. And then now I'm angry too because it's like imagine if the Catholic Church you have the Trinity.
Yeah,
and imagine they have a prayer.
Is like the Father, Son, and that's it. And you're like, but it's a Trinity. Nope, Father and the Son. And you're like, but No,
Look,
like
if Jesus
it's
Christ
a
came
trinity.
down and said that,
Nope.
then what are you going to do? It's Jesus Christ. It's the guy himself. What are you going to do?
I would say Jesus. I think you're missing one because like that's the whole point.